Alright, so this is the second installment of the Not a Noob escape room series. The moment I spawned into the room, I realized it was significantly different from the one I had spawned in the first escape room. There were more command blocks and more buttons, and I realized that they were buttons for future escape rooms. That was cool, but right now only 1 and 2 were active. I mined up the button for 1 and all the signs, all the campfires. I began to set my spawn, but then realized it'd be more useful to have my bed on me for the escape room. So, I pressed the button. The moment I spawned in, I immediately noticed the hay bale above my head and the basalt underneath me. I also quickly noticed the ladders using F5, but got distracted mining a chain instead. I was not playing at my top performance, and missed the bed clutch instead of getting the ladders. I then clutched and made it back down there. I hadn't realized my big mistake yet, because I was instead mining up the red concrete cross, and in the middle of it found a lever. I somehow managed to get both of my carpets back, which I found was incredible, and moved on in the room. Oh yeah, I found some hidden string as well. Right away I found some clickbait bedrock, and behind it was a bolt. I got into the room and then made the unwise decision of bolt clipping into the thing without throwing my items on the ground. I was hoping I'd be able to see the top where there'd be a chest or something, but nope. The bedrock was more than 1 block thick, and I suffocated in the thing, and my items went on top. I had no way of getting them back again. I negotiated with Not a Noob to ask him if I could have one more chance, if I could restart the escape room, and if I did win, it would only count as half a win in the big best out of 5 scheme. He agreed since I had shown him mercy in not using the cheese I found in the first room, and I re-downloaded the world. This time I minded the ladders, of course. I used the ladders to make the most insane ladder clutch ever. Not a Noob was very impressed.
Oh, I expected you to use either the hay bale or bed clutch.
So I redid everything that I had done previously, and then I found a new room. This one had a dropper on it that said, deposit 1 item, so I deposited my sign as it was the least useful, but then mined it up and got it back out of the hopper again. Of course. Using my boat, I went into yet another room and found a skulk sensor lying in the corner. I was very afraid about it, but quickly discovered that nothing bad happened when I activated it. So I jumped down, and after retrieving the boat again, quickly realized that there was a dispenser above me. Inside of it was a stack of TNT, and I was pretty sure that I wasn't supposed to get that. Then, in the tunnel that the TNT led to, I realized that it had a way to the open outside. I had found the cheese of this escape room. Honestly, these escape rooms are pretty fun, and Not a Noob had given me mercy in letting me restart the escape room, so I decided that I would let only this one slide, just like in the first video. But if I won this escape room, it would count as a full win. Not a Noob agreed, and I continued on. But first, I actually was stumped on how to get back inside. I could not use my boat to get back inside, and Not a Noob had to actually tell me one of the secrets that he knew about how to get there. So I went back inside the escape room, but lost my bed in the process, unfortunately. Hopefully I wouldn't need it for anything, but I continued in the escape room. Under the dispenser was some more fake bedrock, and under that was a furnace with 3 sticks in it. I tried to see what was behind the furnace, but there was nothing. Going into this hole was a big mistake and wasted a lot of TNT, which I didn't think I'd really need. I found out that the item I had deposited earlier was to stop a wall from rocking back and forth, allowing me to mine it. I mined the polished basalt, slime blocks, and sticky piston, and started to go into the redstone hole, but found out from Not a Noob that he had thoroughly checked the hole before, and that there was no way to cheese it. I also didn't really want to waste any more materials going into holes, so I continued on in the escape room. I immediately heard a skulk sensor and a vindicator dropping and thought it was coming for me. After being very careful, I found out that it actually wasn't, and that I was safe to continue. I saw a sign that said, "Hiya Steve," with a Steve armor stand bodyguard. I couldn't mine the glass for the barrier blocks, so instead of being productive, then I just mined some torches and a dispenser. Surprise, surprise, there was redstone behind it. Shocking. Then, instead of looking for clues or doing anything that could help me, then I pressed the first button in this command block room I found. Thinking it might summon a monster, I blocked it off, and then pressed the button, and... or darkness. Infinity? You know that's not entertaining for viewers, you know?
Don't ya?
I do.
Be a little more cautious pressing buttons from now on.
I was not more cautious pressing buttons. Instead, I pressed button 3 thinking 2 might be another bad one. 3 gave me infinite slowness, and I decided to die to get it to wear off. Keep inventory was off this time though, so I had to keep all of my items in a safe spot before I died. But there was a problem. I'd put myself in a hole that I couldn't get out of, and I couldn't die. I was starving, but it just wasn't killing me. Fortunately, I quickly discovered that you can only die from starvation in hard mode, so I switched it, and I did die. This is the part of the escape room where I was really catching on. I went full escape room mode and started using my brain. I used Quick Pro to look around the walls, discovering that there was a door maze, and it was what had the Vindicators in it. I started to go through it, but realized I would not be able to defeat the Vindicators without a weapon. The second button did absolutely nothing from what I could tell. I decided to mine the netherite blocks, which, even though I could AFK using F3 and T, it still took forever, and I was not pleased with Not a Noob. I got to practice my geometry dash, though. Anyway, on the other side there was a hopper, and in it was an axe, some armor, and a paper that said, "Me not being alms." Armed with this axe, I felt ready to take on the Vindicators and the maze. I went through the maze, and I actually died to Vindicators a few times, finding out that their names were Fred, but I made it through the maze. And on the other side was a room with water in it. Using the bucket that I wasn't supposed to have yet, I bucketed up the water and went through the tunnel. It was very slow going through the tunnel as I had to crawl through it, and it was very long. And on the end was literally nothing. I searched the walls of the tunnel using Quake Pro, but there was literally nothing. The exit had to have been in that other water room, or I had picked up an item and I had to backtrack to find where the real exit was. Whatever it was, it definitely wasn't here, so I went back. Not a Noob told me that he had found a really cool and clever Minecraft mechanic for this one, and that he was very proud of himself. I know my fair share of Minecraft mechanics and instantly knew what he was talking about, because I was pretty proud when I found out about it myself. Instantly, the water in the room made sense. I was supposed to clip through the floor using my boat. You see, when a boat lands on 1 pixel of water and there's only 1 block of floor underneath it, then it falls through the floor. Don't believe me? Try it yourself. I knew that this had to be the solution to that. The answer was right under me. But for some reason I decided that it'd be best to test it first. So instead of hopping in the boat when I placed it, I just let it fall, and quickly realized that there was no logic behind this. I lost the boat. And I knew that I wasn't going to get any more mercy from Not a Noob, this being a best out of 5 challenge where me losing makes complete sense, especially since he showed me mercy earlier in the challenge. I thought I was done for, but then I had an idea. This was one of the smartest ideas I had ever had in my entire life, and it was to go through the cheese that I had found earlier, go through the end, go back inside the escape room, mine up the boat, go back. Okay, maybe it wasn't the best idea I've ever had, but it at least counted as escaping the escape room. So I did that, I made sure to hop in it this time, and like that, I had finished Not a Noob 87's second Minecraft escape room. You may have noticed that I have few enough subscribers that you can count each one. YouTube doesn't start paying me until 1,000 subscribers, so it'd mean a lot to me if you could help me make it there. I'd never swear or make inappropriate jokes, so there's almost no reason not to. I make videos every Tuesday, and on May 26th is when the first episode to my How Minecraft Works series live premieres. Make sure to catch it live. See you in the next part of the escape room.